Okay, welcome to the Guthrie Public Schools Board of Education regular monthly meeting, April 10. Roll call, please.
Flagg.
Here.
Davis. Here. Smedley. Here. Gerard.
Here.
Schroeder.
Here.
Pearson. Here. Celine.
Here.
Mr. President, we have a quorum.
Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So as we begin this meeting, let us pause for a moment of silence. Okay, thank you. Okay, agenda item 6, recommendation, consideration, and vote on reorganization of the board, including item A, election of the president, B, election of the first vice president, C, election of the second vice president, D, election of the board clerk, E, election of deputy board clerk. Do we have a motion?
Mr. President, I move we elect President Ron Flagg, First Vice President Chris Schroeder, Second Vice President Tina Smedley, Board Clerk Janae Pearson, Deputy Board Clerk Gail Davis.
Second.
Okay. Motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Flagg.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Gerard.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Celine.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Board officers can take their new post.
Where you want to go?
Yeah, I know.
This is Janae's seat. I can escape both ways.
Yeah.
You used to take the whole thing.
You want me to take the whole thing?
Yeah.
Second vice is Smedley.
Yeah. Hey, what did you do? It's been a minute since I've been over here.
This is always the most awkward moment of the board, it seems like.
Huh? That's your battery action.
Yes.
Don't forget that.
All right, thank you, Travis. Item number 7 this evening is the presentation from the Guthrie Educational Foundation.
I believe we have,
He's walking in.
oh, okay. He knows how to make an entrance. I was going to call on someone else and, okay.
There he is.
Mr. Hannah, I believe,
You're up.
yes. We're waiting on you.
Well, thank you.
Usually you shouldn't be tardy,
Well, you know,
but if you're gonna hand out money, we're okay.
we started at 7, so
And things are different now, Mr. Hannah.
I'm 30 minutes early, so. Anyhow, I'm here today because the Education Foundation's been very busy. We've got Shanna here, who else is here? Carmen and Doug. Last week, they went out around to the different schools and we gave out almost $30,000, a little over $30,000 in classroom grants. We had a little bit of extra money left, so we decided, based on all the support we've been getting from the administrators and everything else, that we had a $1,000 site grant for each of the sites. So if the principals are here, I'd love to give you a check for $1,000.
I know.
Tyler Olson, the elementary back. Here, pick which one you want.
Okay, that's fine.
You want There you go. There you go. Jeff's down there somewhere. have the elementaries there, there's Chris's, junior high. Last but not least, yes, everybody get in here. Thank you very much, guys.
Mr. Hannah?
Yes, sir.
Your tardy's excused.
Used to, we did detention, now it's $7,000.
All right, we appreciate all that hard work the Educational Foundation has done for the school system. Item number 8 is the student recognition of the Kiwanis Club Sophomore of the Year.
I'd like to recognize Kelly Hoyt and Jamie Newton of the Guthrie Kiwanis Club, and they have a presentation for us.
Yes, I'm Kelly Hoyt. Jamie. This is our Sophomore of the Year award we give every year from Kiwanis to a sophomore from the Guthrie area. And this year our recipient is Ms. Bella White.
Bella completed a scholarship application, which was probably her first one in her career as a student. And she followed all the directions and submitted a stellar packet, so we thank you for that. She will also be submitted up the line through our division in our district and be in the running for a $600 scholarship for when she attends college or a trade school of her choice. So, congratulations,
And I
Bella.
have talked to my granddaughter, both go all three, and they do agree on the subject.
Congratulations.
All right. Item number 10 are comments to the board by,
Number 9.
oh, sorry. Oh, we almost skipped over Mr. Ogle. Presentation of employees and student of the month.
Mr. Ogle.
Ron's already looking over me. So we went out today and did the Employee and Student of the Month. And so our Student of the Month was Central Second Grader Nicholas Zamora. And he was nominated by Rebecca Creed for the character trait kindness. I will say this, second graders, when Mr. Whimsy goes in and starts talking about insurance, you never know what you're going to get for answers because he talks to them. This was a smart class. The class was able to answer every question about insurance. He talked about having integrity. They knew exactly what integrity was. And so you'll make sure that you want to read this story when Chris Evans does it in the news page about what was wrote about Nicholas. Sport Employee of the Month was Charter Oak Parent Joyce Powell. She was nominated by Patricia Cleaver. And so it was very nice. I met Mr. Ball out at Charter Oak today, and she was so shocked. She said, "I've never won anything." And just tears running down her eyes, and so very, very appreciative. And then our Certified Employee of the Month was Fogarty Kindergarten, Deanna Davenport, and she was nominated by Christy Gilbert. And so very worthy candidates and students of the month. So thank you. Thanks for letting me talk on it.
Thank you, Dave. All right, let's go to item number 10, comments to the board by citizens registered to speak to the board,
We have none.
by board members. Okay. Item number 11, superintendent's report.
My first item is I want to offer sincere thanks for all of our staff and our first responders. Friday, March 31st was not normal, to say the least. And it's a day where I think we shine more than even normal on taking care of our kids through some very stressful conditions. We have lots of plans and ideas about how to deal with a crisis, but until you get into one, it's not until you get into one that you realize every one of them are different. The notion that at approximately an hour before dismissal, we would lose all communication with buildings and have a wildfire that is going through a major portion of our school district where many of our students live and headed toward one of our elementary schools. That's challenging. Throwing in the fact that, and I share this with a colleague, you know, there are times it's a blessing to live with an interstate running through your school district, but there's times it's a curse. Friday it was a curse because the interstate was shut down essentially from Waterloo all the way to Seward Road. And it made getting buses anywhere impossible, even though there were many places we couldn't take them, even if we could, if we had no traffic. I want to publicly thank Cody Thompson and all of our principals, and Dee Benson. It was quite an ordeal, and I will say this, our school bus drivers were on the front lines, and once they realized the seriousness of all of this, were incredibly under control and cool and calm under pressure as they were the communication with all of our buildings. I can't say enough about the first responders that I watched go into action at the command center. And you could tell they had done this before. And they had a plan, and they adapted their plan just like we were adapting ours to keep everybody safe. I had a conversation with Deputy Randolph, who was really heading up the command center, and I looked at him toward the end of when we were about to get all of our folks home. And, you know, they were headed for a longer day, but it had already been a long day for all of us. And I looked at him and I said, you know, we both just want the same thing. We want to get everybody home. And we did that. And it took some MacGyver-ish tactics to get communication, but it worked out. And Cody and I have been in contact and working on ways, like anything with a crisis, you look at it and look at ways that you can improve. And we have some things in place, and that we will have more improved communication if the perfect storm comes again. But I don't think there's any way you can anticipate losing internet, telephones, and cell service all at once with the circumstances that we in the backup systems and things we already have in place. And so hats off to everybody for all of that. And I was glad when we got everybody home, and I feel fortunate that, given what I know about the situation, that there was no loss of life. We already touched on this, but I wanted to reiterate, last Wednesday, the Guthrie Educational Foundation distributed 43 grants to teachers in our district, totaling almost $30,000. Each building teacher of the year also received $100 as a gift as well. Last Thursday, we had the inaugural ACT Day at the high school. The absences were reduced, and Mr. LeGrand and I spoke that morning about that. Everything seemed to run very smooth. And our goal was to try and provide an atmosphere where the kids, the students that are taking it, can not feel rushed and not feel invaded. And we feel like we accomplished that goal. We'll see how the results are, and we'll evaluate it over time and look at this longitudinally to see if it was a good use of a day of distance learning for everyone else. And just a reminder, thanks to our ability to have distance learning during our weather events this winter, we were not in session last Friday, and it also appears on Friday, the 21st of April, the day before 89ers, we will be out of school as well, barring, in Guthrie, you never know when you're going to have a flood. So, but it seems like we're a long ways away from that with current weather conditions. So that's my report, Mr. President.
All right, thank you, Dr. Simpson. Item number 12 is the approval of the consent agenda.
Mr. President, I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley. Yes. Gerard.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Celine.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Clag.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Item 13 is the approval of the minutes of the regular board meeting held on March 6, 2023.
Mr. President, I move that we approve the minutes of the board meeting on March 6, 2023.
Second. There's a motion and a second to approve the minutes of the regular board meeting held on March 6, 2023. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Gerard.
Abstain.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Celine.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Clag.
Yes.
6 ayes and 1 abstention.
Motion passes. Item 14 is the presentation by Synergistics, LLC.
We have Ashton Whitley here with us tonight, and we also have Ronnie Phillips and Cody Thompson to offer anything they want to offer as well. Ashton?
Thank you, guys. Hope everybody's doing well. I've got a quick presentation for you guys. I'd like to take a few moments to share the success and the savings that your energy program has produced in the first year since our partnership with you guys, October 21. This success is made possible by all the staff and students helping become energy savers in your district, as well as the excellent leadership from the board and Dr. Simpson. I'd like to thank Cody Thompson, the entire operations team, and lastly, the hard work and dedication from your energy specialist, Mr. Ronnie Phillips. So, a few things about the energy program. Our objectives: we reduce your consumption through optimizing buildings and creating a culture of sustainability with, like I said a second ago, creating all staff and students to become energy savers. Ronnie's in the buildings all the time to make sure that, comfort is our #1 priority, and making sure that we set back the buildings overnight to save on consumption. So performance year 1, October 21 to September 22, you guys were able to save $109,621, a 13.7% reduced savings. Our goal is 20%. Our program is usually front-loaded and everything trying to get the ball rolling. But once we get the ball rolling, I hope to come back this time next year and show an even more substantial savings for you guys. This chart just shows month over month, and it'll be better next year because we'll see the month over month this first year, and we'll be able to see how much better you guys are doing in performance year 2. This savings here talks about your net savings. $109,000 is what you guys saved for your performance, but taking in the cost of the program, the energy specialist, the synergistic fee, and the energy cap software, which is a third-party software that tracks your savings. You guys did a net savings of $42,000 in the first year. Energy use intensity is an industry-specific term that we use. It takes your electric and your gas consumption, divides it by your overall district square footage, and it puts out a number. Right now, your base year, which was back in 2019 to 2020, it was at 56.5, and now we're at a 48.3. There's still a lot of opportunity to be had, but that's a very healthy number for you guys, so pat yourself on the back. Commodity rates are going up. So electric, natural gas, and water have all seen a large increase, and this is the best time to save on your consumption is when those increases go up. It's the best thing we can do for your district. On the left, a quick rundown of some costs. If we were at yesterday's or 2019's consumption rates or consumption patterns at today's rates, it would have cost another $400,000 out of your budget to pay for it today at these rates. But that's even more important for us to drive the consumption down for you guys. Building on success, we're developing an energy conservation culture to protect natural resources. We're strategically planning for extended breaks to achieve greater savings. Spring break, summer, Thanksgiving, Christmas are our best opportunities. Communicate the program to your organization throughout everybody. Save to reinvest these dollars on what matters most. And again, just thank you for your teamwork, school board, community, maintenance staff, custodians, employees, everybody that you guys have here that are helping make this work. So I thank you guys.
So Mr. Whitley,
Yes.
right here. Sorry. I'm going to put this. Yes, I understand, yeah. So great job. I mean, these are good numbers. Glad, it's encouraging to see that there's opportunities here to save money. You mentioned going into the next year, getting the ball rolling, look at some other things. And that was some questions I had for you tonight. So I did a little bit of research. Energy Cap seemed like a very good software program, for very reputable energy management type software. So, as I was looking at that, I seen, man, there's a lot of tools in there, a lot of reports, a lot of dashboarding, a lot of things, cost-benefit analysis, a lot of accounting, real-time data analytics. So my question is this: I assume that's kind of the next phase as we. I guess what's your plan? I guess I would expect to see in the future year or subsequent years more sophistication around maybe some real-time data, dashboarding, analytics, cost-benefit analysis, and things. So, can you speak to that a little bit as far as kind of what you have in mind for Energy Cap? Because what we have here is walkthroughs through the building, kind of developing that culture.
Yeah.
And Energy Cap gives you the ability to measure the cost avoidance.
It does.
So that's a very basic piece of the software itself. So I guess beyond that, what's the level of sophistication that your firm is using with the software to develop more reports, more data-driven decision and analysis?
So we work with Cody all the time, showing him the reports, showing him the dashboards, and we can pinpoint school by school where the highest UI, where the most opportunity is. So as we go into performance year 2, we go into what we call phase 2. So we'll go building by building and optimize it as best as possible. Inside of ECAP, you can also do forecasting. Like you're saying, you can. We can also simulate each one of your buildings so that we can see what the HVAC or HVAC upgrades might do to how much, how quick the ROI might be. So yes, we can get much more in depth with it, and we do.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to understand is kind of the level of sophistication that we currently have. So like Cody has some building level reports and data and things, but
We've been talking about it, actually, I have. In the first year, Ronnie was just kind of doing the audits for your school.
Right.
Sure, like turn the lights off, with blinds, AC, and all that kind of stuff. But now we're talking about this recently about having Ronnie going in individually and pinpointing those weaknesses that we have and we'll say what you're looking for.
Yeah.
And that's where we want to go in this next year as we move forward.
Okay.
So that's the biggest part of it now is where are our strengths, where are our weaknesses, and what can we improve on. And that's what you'll have time to do, take care of some of it. Put in the Energy Cap, and run those numbers, right?
Yeah, it is. And if anybody wants to know any more about Energy Cap, I'm welcome to come sit down with you and show you how to use it and show you the capabilities. But yeah, no, we're going to, it also spits out alerts when Ronnie enters the bills each month and tells him, if a water bill is more expensive than it was historically, it'll go look for the leak. Same with electricity.
Yeah. No, that's just a question I had kind of for Dr. Simpson last week about this program, and the board knows I'm always a skeptic anytime somebody's trying to get us to part with our money.
Yeah.
And so going back, because there's a lot of firms, a lot of companies want to sell as a service. And so one of the early questions I had about your program was, it's got to be more than just building walkthroughs.
Yeah.
We can do that ourselves.
It is.
Yes. And so it's how we, what level of sophistication do we have in the service that you're providing? And, I mean, there's a great deal
There is.
here that's available, and I just want to ensure that we understand what we're receiving, that we're kind of aligned on the expectations of how we're going to use this Energy Cap software. But
one other thing I'll mention real quick is we have house engineers that come on site, and anytime you guys are doing upgrades, he can come and do engineering reports on each one to make sure. Again, he's just going to give suggestions. We don't sell anything other than our program,
Right.
but he can make the recommendations based on our experience, and that's another service that we offer. That's especially for construction work and things
he can look at, like when you're ready, you got 100% whatever collateral right now. Your engineers can go in there and look at what we have, what we put in there, and the right thing for that building, and what we're trying to do as far as lights, HVAC, you know, and electrical and all that. So that's what our engineers can help us, and there is no extra.
No, it's part of the cost.
Yeah. No, very good, and those were my main questions, and so I look forward next year to seeing the next report and what you can deliver, so.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
As we get into this program further in the years, what could we realistically begin to realize as far as our net savings? We're at 13.6 this year. Where can we go with that?
So our goal is 20% year over year. When it was sold to you guys, I forget what the actual numbers were, but we should be net savings around 80 to 100,000. So whatever that puts us up at gross savings, that's where you should be year over year. And it should get a little bit better at, year 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to the end, but no, it should be around 80 to $100,000 net. And we're confident that we'll get you guys there, because there's still plenty of opportunity as we take it.
In the board and committees, we talked about the fact that we all know that what we're looking at is trying to reduce consumption because the rates have gone up, and so by reducing consumption, while we might be paying a little bit more in utilities, it's still a lot less, like his chart showed, than it would be if we hadn't made the initial changes and then the future changes.
Okay, that's all I have, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Next session.
Okay. Item 15 on our business agenda, item A, is the recommendation, consideration, and action upon an agreement with BSN Sports LLC for purchasing and supplying athletic apparel and footwear to Guthrie Public Schools for 2023-2024.
So this is an agreement that we've been sifting through for a couple of months with our athletic department, and we went through the committees. The coaches have looked this over as well, and the athletic department, and it does not require our student athletes to purchase their apparel or shoes from us or from BSN. It does require the school district to purchase uniforms from BSN. But the incentives financially are enough that we felt that it was time that we jumped into this. I'd recommend approval.
Mr. President, I make a motion that we approve the agreement with BSN Sports LLC for purchasing and supplying athletic apparel and footwear to Guthrie Public Schools for 2023 and 2024.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve the agreement with BSN Sports LLC for purchasing and supplying athletic apparel and footwear to Guthrie Public Schools for 2023-2024. Any further discussion?
Just would you explain under the benefits, the number 2, the sports product allotment? The promotional products? I'm just curious exactly what that is.
Where are you, Janae?
Under the benefits on the
Okay.
contract,
49.
number 2, it's Nike Team Sports Product Allotment, and it says free Nike promotional products calculated.
Most of that will be, I believe, Doug, correct me if I'm wrong, but that will be coaches' apparel and things like that they would otherwise be buying out of the athletic budget.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Davis. Smedley.
Excuse me, yes.
Yes.
Gerard.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Salee.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Flagg.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Item 15B is the recommendation, consideration, and action upon contracting with Imagine Learning for school year 2023-2024.
Mr. Ogle?
We bring this annually. This is our, used to be Edgenuity. This is what we use for our Alt-Ed program and our Blue Jay Academy. And it is the online software. There is an increase this year. Just to kind of recap to everybody, especially if somebody's watching on TV, We used to have a consortium with Meridian Technology. We had 32 seats, I believe. And when we got to 32, nobody else could get on. And so when we had the pandemic, we reached out to Edgenuity, and we purchased 6 through 12, so every student would have it, and it was a minimal cost at that time. And so they are coming back now. I think the district's been using it 9 or 10 years, I believe, maybe a little bit longer than that.
Longer than that.
And there is a one-time increase on the software itself, a 10% increase, but not for, we have some side things that we have for like plagiarism and a couple other things on there, but just the software itself, one-time 10% increase. But we talked about it, we've looked at other things that we were using, other vendors, and this is the one that we felt most comfortable for our Blue Jay Academy and Alta.
Yeah, this is an item we review annually before bringing this to the board, and it was the conclusion that we want to renew this agreement, so I'd recommend approval.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion, we approve the contract with Imagine Learning for school year 2023-2024.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second to approve the contract with Imagine Learning for school year 2023-2024. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Gerard.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Salee.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Clegg.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Item 15C is the recommendation, consideration, and action upon an agreement between Guthrie Public Schools and the Oklahoma Department of Human Services to provide school-based specialists for 2023-2024.
We currently have 3 school-based specialists. I believe one of the positions is currently open, but we're hoping to get it filled soon. This will be year 3 of having those folks. This is a 50-50 split with the DHS and the school district. We've been using ESSER funds for this, and I can tell you that I've heard so many great stories of how they have helped our students, our families, and our district with the work that they've done over the time that they've been with our district. And I would recommend that we renew this for next year. And past next year, I don't have an answer yet.
Mr. President, I make a motion that we approve the agreement between Guthrie Public Schools and Oklahoma Department of Human Services to provide school-based specialists for 2023-2024.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second to approve the agreement between the Guthrie Public Schools and the Oklahoma Department of Human Services to provide school-based specialists for 2023-2024. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Gerard.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Salee.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Clegg.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Item 15D is the recommendation, consideration, and action for auditing services with S&B CPAs Associates, PLLC, for 2023-2024 for fiscal year 2022-2023.
With the death of our previous auditor, Jerry Putnam, and his firm dissolving, we were forced to seek different auditing services. The people that are closest to our audit will be with this firm, and they have strong familiarity with our district and would recommend that we enter into this agreement. And Dr. Chappell can answer any questions that you might have.
I move we approve the auditing services with S&B CPAs Associates, PLLC, for 2023-2024 for the fiscal year 2022-2023.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve the auditing services contract with S&B CPA Associates, PLLC, for 2023-2024 for fiscal year 2022-2023. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Gerard.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Salee.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Clegg.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Item 15E is the recommendation, consideration, and action upon growth and development presentation by the Logan County Health Department for fifth grade students at Guthrie Upper Elementary.
This is an annual item that we bring to the board for their approval. We have done this as long as I can remember, and it is mandated by the state, and we recommend approval. Mr. Ogle can answer any questions you might have.
Mr. Ogle, do we have pretty good participation in this?
Yes. Yes. Maybe 1 or 2 per class and usually because they forgot.
Okay.
Because it was out there.
Mr. President, I make a motion that we approve the growth and development presentation by Logan County Health Department for fifth grade students at Guthrie Upper Elementary.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve the growth and development presentation by the Logan County Health Department for fifth grade students at Guthrie Upper Elementary. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Gerard.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Salee.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Clegg.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Item 15F is the recommendation, consideration, and action upon request for special education students to attend State Special Olympics Summer Games, May 17th through the 19th, 2023.
This is an annual event that we ask the board to approve because we are taking special needs students. In many cases, they are spending the night in the dorms at OSU. We had to shut this down a little bit for COVID, but we're back full force with this and would recommend approval. Ms. Young is available if you have any questions.
Mr. President, I move that we approve the request for special education students to attend State Special Olympics Summer Games, May 17th through 19th, 2023.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second to approve the request for the special education students to attend the State Special Olympics Summer Games, May 17th through 19th, 2023. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Gerard.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Salee.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Clegg.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Item 15G is the recommendation, consideration, and action to approve change orders number 12 for Lambert Construction Company.
This is on pages 75 and 76 of your board packet. These are issues that we have encountered with the plumbing at the high school, and that project is the gift that keeps on giving. Would recommend approval.
Mr. President, I would move to approve change orders number 12 for Lambert Construction.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve change order number 12 for Lambert Construction Company. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Gerard.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Salee.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Clegg.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Item number 16 is the proposed executive session for the purpose of discussing employment of personnel, FMLA request, resignation, separation from employment, and transfer of position request, all set out on the personnel reports, employment of career and probationary contract teachers as listed for 2023-2024, and discussion of teacher negotiations for 2023-2024, disclosure of which information would violate the confidentiality requirements of state and or federal law, all pursuant to 25 Oklahoma statute, section 307B, 1, 2, and 7. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to move to executive session. Roll call vote, please.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Gerard.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Salee.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Clegg.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Okay, only items in Agenda 16 were discussed at executive session and no votes were taken. This shall constitute the executive session minutes. Business item number 17 is to vote on action as set out on the personnel reports.
Mr. President, I make a motion that we approve the personnel reports.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve the personnel reports. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Gerard.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Salee.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Clegg.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Item 18 is action upon recommendation to employ career contract teachers as listed on Schedule A for 2023-2024.
Mr. President, I make a motion, we approve the recommendation to employ career contract teachers as listed on Schedule A for 2023-2024.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second to approve the recommendation to employ career contract teachers as listed on Schedule A for 2023-2024. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Gerard.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Salee.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Clegg.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Item 19, action upon recommendation to employ probation to career contract teachers as listed on Schedule B for 2023-2024.
Mr. President, I make a motion that we approve the employment probation to career contract teachers as listed on Schedule B for 2023-2024.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve the recommendation to employ to probation to career contract teachers as listed on Schedule B for 2023-2024. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Gerard.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Salee.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Clegg.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Item 20, action upon recommendation to employ probationary contract teachers as listed on Schedule C for 2023-2024.
Mr. President, I make a motion to employ probationary contract teachers as listed on Schedule C for 2023-2024.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve the recommendation to employ probationary contract teachers as listed on Schedule C for 2023-2024. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Gerard.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Salee.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Clegg.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Recommendation, consideration, and action to name a principal for Cotterill Elementary School.
Mr. President, I would recommend Leslie Cotton for the Cotterill Elementary School principal position.
Mr. President, I make a motion that we approve Leslie Cotton for principal for Cotterill Elementary.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve Leslie Cotton to be named as principal for the Cotterill Elementary School. Further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Gerard.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Salee.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Clegg.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Recommendation, consideration, and action to name a principal for Guthrie Upper Elementary School.
Mr. President, I would recommend Jeff Ball as the principal for Guthrie Upper Elementary School.
Mr. President, I move that we accept Jeff Ball as the principal for Guthrie Upper Elementary School.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to name Jeff Ball as the principal for the Guthrie Upper Elementary School. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Gerard.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Salee.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Clegg.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Item 23, recommendation, consideration, and action to name a principal for Guthrie High School.
Mr. President, I would recommend Dusty Throckmorton as principal for Guthrie High School.
Second, sorry, that wasn't a motion.
That was
Mr.
recommendation.
President, I move to accept the nomination of Dusty Throckmorton for principal to Guthrie High School.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to recommend Dusty Throckmorton to be named as principal for Guthrie High School. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Gerard.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Salee.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Clegg.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Item number 24, recommendation, consideration, and action to accept any resignations offered since the posting of this agenda.
We have none?
Item 25, discussion of possible action on any new business not known about or could have not been reasonably foreseen at the time of the agenda posting.
We have none?
Item 26, adjournment.
So move.
Second?
There's a motion and a second to move to adjournment. Roll call vote, please.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Gerard.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Salee.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Clegg.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Motion passes.